Hello, guys. Theo here. I bring you greetings from my clinical practice, Oasis Clinical Care Management and Consultation. Definitely, I would encourage you guys. Welcome, first of all, welcome to those who are here for the first time and those who are returning. I want to welcome you as well. I want to welcome you back, rather. Uh, Definitely today, I wanted to spend some time talking about episode that we touched briefly on. In regards to depression and anxiety. In fact, what I plan to do, I have like a handout that I plan to make available. Will probably be on my website is where you can find it. But this handout has great tips in terms of how to navigate and just how to take care of yourself during this very difficult and unprecedented time that we currently face with. Definitely to all young people and adults, I would say simply you need to, definitely monitor your exposure to social media because sometimes that stuff can be very misleading and make you think the worst of the situation. So you want to be very mindful of that. And also, I really can't stress the importance, man, of making sure you get adequate sleep. I think that's critically important. I did make reference to this in the last episode, but I will make reference to it again in terms of making sure that you pick up the book titled "Anxious Child slash Anxious Parent." You definitely want to make sure you pick up a copy of that. And that particular book is found in both audio book and hard copy format. So you definitely want to get your hands on that. That's a valuable read, and I think it's something that all parents need to make sure you have in your library. Um, and of course, the other thing too, man, you want to make sure. The last thing I would say to this is that you want to make sure that, of course, your kid have access, or you even have access to a counselor or therapist, someone who have deep rooted understanding in terms of kind of what anxiety looks like and what are some key things to do to kind of help combat with that. Typically, what I typically do, and I'm a practice manager. Obviously, I spend a lot of my time doing that, along with providing forensic work. But I do have some general anxiety folks that I work with as well, and also those individuals who suffer from PTSD and also sports psychology situations or dilemmas, rather. And all of that, by and large, falls within the anxiety class. So, even though it's a different area, is still the same diagnosis. Well, it's the same diagnosis. Um, and the presentations are a little different. So, I mean, that's something you have to be very mindful of as well. Um, but, definitely I plan to make information available to you guys if you ever have any questions, personal questions, and you just need to get a hold of somebody and just kind of talk about different things. Certainly feel free to give me a call. Now, I must admit, I can be a bit elusive at times. I'm not the easiest person to reach at times. But I'm an early bird, so the earlier the better. Give me a call. Send me a message. I promise you, if you send me a message on my email, I will definitely get back in contact with you. Definitely that. Um, but again, man, we have to really be cognitive of how we manage our anxiety because, that's critically important. Definitely we talk about the brain, the amygdala, and also the prefrontal cortex. The prefrontal cortex, I can't talk. The prefrontal cortex is our alert system. Um, the amygdala is the part of the brain. It's the fight or flight. It puts us in the flight or flight mode, if you will. So, definitely want to make sure we are taking care of ourselves. We do a good job with personal hygiene. Sleep hygiene is critically important, and also food hygiene is critically important as well. Um, but those particular parts of the brain are definitely activated. And also, one thing I did mention that chemical in our brain that really dictates and determines our mood. That's called norepinephrine. Um, so we want to be very, very, very conscious about making sure that of course, we doing the right things. In terms of staying active, we need to stay physically active, mentally active in terms of making sure we don't fall victim of um, that shortage of chemical in terms of norepinephrine, and that's something I always talk with anyone, but specifically my athletes about in terms of staying active, making sure that of course, you're active, you're involved, you are stimulating your mind with different things. That's critically important. Um, and also, that's the main reason why medications are prescribed. I'm a psychotherapist. I mean, I know a lot about medications, but to be quite frank, that's way outside of my scope of practice, and I definitely do not practice that. However, if one needs to speak with a nurse practitioner, psychiatrist, definitely I can make that referral to you. But it's not something that I practice on a regular basis. So I want to be very clear about that because that's a typical misconception I get a lot in terms of, well, I just want medication and I'll be fine. Well, if that's the case, then that's fine. But I'm not your guy. I'm not the one that can assist you with that. So I have to be very upfront about that. Sometimes, though, I will say that make a lot of people upset because they just want the medication. They want that quick fix. Therapy is not like that. It's a process, especially when you're dealing with anxiety and depression. It's a process. It's learning how to cope and manage those symptoms and not let those symptoms manage you for the most part. So it could be, it's not time limited. I tell people all the time, um, for those who may come in for an assessment, if you're looking for a specific period of time, I can't pinpoint it. I don't have the crystal ball. I don't know what that would look like for you. Everybody's situation is different. So, you need to bear that in mind as well. Um, Depression and anxiety definitely can play a part and affect you in a lot of different ways. And sometimes, most times, well, not most times, but all the time, I tell people when they come in for the clinical intake is to, you want to see, these symptoms or these changes with where has affected you from an individual standpoint in several different areas, but definitely in your personal life and also in your professional life. And also, it needs to be something that's visible to other people. Not only you notice that or you notice the change, but also other people notice it as well. Another thing you want to be mindful of is you want to be conscious and you want to be aware of your body, some of the signals that the body is trying to tell you. I think it's critically important. Sometimes we live in this world of denial. We don't really pay much attention to what our body is trying to tell us, but we have to make sure we re-listen to those subtle cues um, and not ignore those things or turn a blind eye to those things. Remember, though, it has come to pass. It's not here to stay. So even the times we're faced with, I mean, it's tough, it's rough, but things will get better. We will get back to a sense of normalcy, if you will. So remember, just like depression, anxiety, It's here to pass. It will come to pass. It's not here to stay at all. So please remember that. Again, I will make sure I send some free tips. I have those resources available on my website. And again, my website is www.oasis-cnslt.com. That is just to recap. That's Oasis Console, oasis-console.com. So please visit my website and look at the information, the free resources. Feel free to download those, use those at your leisure. So I will make that information available. Definitely to be notified of different videos that's released. Please smash the subscribe button so you can automatically be notified whenever those videos come out. And definitely, if you want to talk offline, have some personal questions, certainly feel free to reach me. Um, Definitely through my website is what I would highly recommend. And I look forward to speaking with you soon. Have a good one.